Welcome to episode 1 of the Gospel Diaries Podcast. I am anchoring the topic of today, saving to save your lives. My name is Ohayaba Fruitfulness. I'm the anchor for today. Here with me are two guest speakers. Let me please introduce yourself. Pastor.
And I go by the name Mr. Daniel from Makinwa.
Thank you very much for being here in our presence
You're welcome.
today. Now, when we say saving to save your life, what do we mean by that? In a more sophisticated way, we can call it financial management. Financial management involves planning, organizing, and managing your financial resources for future purpose or to save your life in the future. Now, like I said earlier, this is a gospel podcast and we can't continue without scriptural references. In Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20, it says, "There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up." In another version, it says, "Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it all."
All right, thank you very much for having me here. The concept of financial management is so crucial that no one should ever live without engaging this concept of financial management. This has to do with the handling strategically of an individual's resources or finances or an organization's finances with a view to having sufficiency and growth. So if growth and sufficiency is actually one's dream, then financial management is a pathway that cannot be negotiated. Now, savings, on the other hand, has to do with any part of your income or earnings that you have set aside to cater for monetary costs in the future. It could be educational advancement, it could be career development. This financial management should actually be practiced by everyone. And the actual time to begin is now and always. Of what essence is this financial management? Like the Bible says in Proverbs 15, verse 5, Proverbs 10, verse 5, that the wealth of a rich man is a strong city, but the destruction of the poor man is his poverty. And so financial management helps us to have access to whatever we need, wherever we want it, and at a specific time it is needed. And apart from that, it gives us security and insurance. It equally helps us to maximize profits. And apart from that, it would also help us to engage in strategic investments later in life. Like I mentioned, the actual time to start this financial management is now and always. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mommy. There's something I like from what she just said. She said for you to grow, you need financial management. You need to manage your finances both now and in the future. Over to you, Pastor Dan. There's a saying that goes thus: "Now who chop today, go there alive tomorrow." And some people even say we only live once. So you have to enjoy your day today because you don't know what tomorrow entails. So the question now is, highlight some young ideas that young people have about financial management.
Well, thank you very much. I think what you actually made mention of, we have to set that correctly because that issue of now person will chop today, go live tomorrow has actually landed many people into poverty. And not until when that mindset is corrected, definitely, we keep on recording casualty in terms of finances. Why? Because if you say, na person will chop today, go see tomorrow. You can't chop waiting day for tomorrow today. What you go chop tomorrow? So you have to just set things right. And when any money enter into your hand, just like human being, we are tripartite in nature. We have the body, the soul, and the spirit. The same thing is applicable to money. Because any money that comes into your hand, just know that your yesterday is there, your today is there, and your tomorrow is there. Now, if you eat what belongs to tomorrow today, definitely you are going to lack tomorrow. So the mindset of spending all you have today as a young guy or a young lady out there needs to be recorrected. That kind of mindset needs to be recorrected. And some young guys actually they think that they are still young and they don't have much responsibility. So what I have today, let me enjoy it today, which is not supposed to be. Now, before you know it, if you think that you are too young, gradually, you are moving closer to your grave. And by the time the major responsibility knocks at your door and you are not prepared for it, definitely you won't be able to be responsible to that responsibility. And I think one of the reasons why young guys outside don't really save money is because they want to enjoy now. The latest, they always want the latest. If this trend is outside, I want to follow the trend. If you follow the trend today, by tomorrow you'll be outdated. And today's trend by tomorrow is already out of date. So as a young guy, you need to correct that mindset of following the latest trend. I think that's also one of the reasons why the young guys don't really save. And also, one of the reasons why young guys outside there don't save is because they always have an emergency to attend to. Like there's always an emergency needs that they need to meet up with. And if you always have an emergency that takes money out of your pocket without planning for that money initially, then there's a serious problem. And young guys outside there, most of them don't know how to save. Let's take, for instance, you are putting a fish where there's a cat and you're expecting that cat not to touch that fish. You know it's not possible. Now you want to save money, you keep it in your house or you keep it in an account that you have an access to. Definitely, when there is a need, you run to that account again and withdraw from there. So for you to be able to save, it is better you go and save it in a safer place that you yourself will not have an access to. So I think that's all I have about that.
So, what if I don't have enough resources to even feed myself today? If I don't have enough resources to sustain myself today, how do I save?
Most definitely, you can never have enough resources. Because if you actually meet with the richest man today, okay, let's use Dangote as a case study. If you meet with Dangote today, Dangote will tell you he doesn't have money. So no matter the resources that you have, it will still not be enough because the higher, them say, the higher your resources, the higher your taste.
The Bible is our perfect book, our perfect example. So, I want you to give me brief biblical principles of savings.
In Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, the Bible says, "A feast is made for a merry heart, but money answereth all things." It means God Himself is interested in we making money. Now, our perfect example is Jesus Christ. Let's take a look at this example using the parable of the talents. We are told three servants came. To one was given 5 talents, to one was given two, to the other one was given one. And then we were told at the end of the day, they went to trade with it. And the one given five made extra five. The one given two made extra two. And Jesus commended them because they were dutiful. They understood the principle of management. A little wonder they got returns. For that one that was given one, considering that I don't have much resources, so what am I going to do with this one? Like some will always cry, that Lawi is too small, Lawi is too small. What am I going to save with this one? I'm even looking for who to add something for me. No saving, no utilization. The same man, this foolish man, was given 1 talent. We are told he went and buried it. And what was the pronouncement of Jesus? The master upon him, he was cursed because he was a sluggard, he was a foolish man. He had resources, but he doesn't understand what to do with it or how to maximize profit using it. So that's number one principle that we all have resources. And we all have resources. Number two is the principle of Joseph in the land of Egypt. He understood that there's a moment of plenty and there's a season of penury or scarcity. And in that moment of plenty, Joseph adopted the principle of saving, just like you core members. Probably you are serving now and you're at advantage over other core members whose only allowance is what federal government is giving them. Some of you have other source of income from other PPA. Maybe you're serving in a place where they are giving you 50,000 and then maybe you're having some extramural lessons. That has made you to be of advantage. Other persons who are only being paid federal government salary are surviving with that. So that means this extra ones you are having is an advantage. It's not the time for luxury, but it's the time to save and save for rainy days. And then apart from that, another principle is the principle of the hands in Proverbs.